In commemoration of World Press Freedom Day, concerned stakeholders have stressed the urgent need to address the challenges confronting the press to operate freely without fear of intimidation or harassment. The Executive Director, Center for Transparency Advocacy, CTA, Faith Nwadishi, made the call on Thursday while addressing journalists at a joint press conference in Abuja. The Executive Director, while commending the Nigerian press and journalists who have kept the flying high amid stifling environment and circumstances, expressed worry over the constant harassment of journalists, media houses, and content creators by the government on their flimsy excuses. She therefore called on the federal government to reaffirm its commitment to upholding the fundamental rights to freedom of expression and ensuring that journalists carry out their critical work without undue interference or censorship. The Abuja coordinator, University of Calabar Theatre Arts Alumni Association, MacDonald Ekemeze, further emphasized the need for well-meaning Nigerians to join hands with the journalists to say no to media harassment and intimidation.
The press must be allowed to fulfill its role as a watchdog for society, educate and inform citizens, and generate public opinion without fear of harassment, violence, or undue pressure from the government or other actors. We are deeply concerned by the constant harassment of journalists and media houses and content creators by the government under flimsy excuses. We call on all well-meaning Nigerians to join us in standing up for the press and protecting them from undue interference. It is concerning to hear that Nigeria's ranking in the World Press Freedom Index has fallen further to 123 out of 180 countries in 2023.
We should also remember that as theatre artists, we are co-creators in the media or the press world. We are also communicators, and therefore we now say this is important that we join our voice to reinforce the voice to say the press should be free. Not only that, a lot of our members are actually practicing journalists. We are also practicing journalists. So when whatever affects the core media also affects us. And for that reason, we said we need to be part of this event and say no to molestation of the press or the journalists, no to harassment, no to intimidation of any sort, no to unnecessary guards and the findings here and there from regulatory agencies.